According to those felony heroin convictions.
Oh, are you so fucked?
Oh, Jenny, am I though? Because, I feel like if I was, you wouldn't be crashing out like you just drunk drove into a demolition derby with all of these videos you're making about me. Seems like you just really want me to be fucked, but you know I'm not fucked, and because you can't swallow your hubris like you swallow all the other shit you did in exchange for drugs, you are choosing to learn another lesson the hard way. But just remember that you once again rang the school bell to call class back into session here.
You're gonna be hearing from my attorney.
Still pretending you've ever had one of those that wasn't state issued, huh? Okay then.
Because apparently you dumbass don't know what a no true bill is.
Yeah, fair enough. Probably on account of the fact that I'm not some junkie felon running around going stabby McStab with a butter knife while my child starves at home because I sold all of our food stamps for drugs. So my legal lingo isn't exactly expertise level,
You claim to be so smart, right?
No, actually, I've never made that claim. Just by comparison, the bar is very low here. So what I'm saying is, in life, everything's kind of relative. And when I say everything's relative, I'm not talking about your boyfriend. I'm talking about how, in life, one thing compared to... Never mind.
What is a no true bill, homie? Oh, that's right. I was found not guilty.
So wait, you just called me a dumbass for not knowing what a not true bill was, and then you came in here and inaccurately described what a not true bill was to show me how much of a dumbass I am? Because a not true bill means a grand jury decided to not indict you on something. That is not a not guilty verdict. A not guilty verdict is when you go through the trial process and a jury or judge finds you not guilty of the crimes you've been charged with. And also, this technicality isn't what you think it is, and it's gonna make it worse for you here, but we'll get to that.
You are all over the internet saying that I was found guilty. Oh, you're fucked.
Funny, do you not have any felony convictions? Because I haven't heard you deny them in this video here.
Don't worry. OJW, I got you now, motherfucker.
Still thinking you don't.
Yeah, I sent you that message because I meant every word, and now I'm acting on it. See you, bye.
All right, 1 second, just so we're all on the same page, we all understand that defamation and slander are false statements that damage a person's reputation, right? And the key word there is false. It's a very difficult legal standard to meet, as I'm sure your pretend lawyer will tell you when he informs you that you do not have the money to pursue frivolous defamation suits. So now that we got that little technicality cleared up, this is you, right?
I think that it evolved from me rebelling as a teenager.
Yeah, that looks a lot like you. Did you forget that you did this little interview for local news? Well, why don't we go ahead and remind you what you said in this little interview and why I am very confident that I am not fucked.
With, just simple stuff like alcohol and then pot, and then it just slowly graduated. The acid was next, and ecstasy, the mushrooms, and then cocaine, and then meth. And then eventually heroin.
So that's you right there admitting that you just did all of the drugs I said you did, right? So that's a true statement.
Now this was a journey from 13 until 20.
That's you admitting that you were doing the drugs during the time frame that I said you did them.
And so he introduced me to some drug dealers. I started buying it.
And there's you admitting you spent money on drugs.
Did it up the nose for about a month. After that is when I started to inject heroin. I've been to treatment 30 plus times. Right, up until these points. And it was for everybody else. It was for the judges. It was for the parents. It was for the kid.
And there's you admitting you had to attend court-ordered rehab and that you had a kid during this time, so...
There is help out there. Unfortunately for me, I had to find it in prison.
Wait, where did you find it?
I thoroughly am convinced if she let me out early like I filed for, I would have went right back out.
Oh, so you did your whole prison term too, like the whole thing. Can you remind me, do people who haven't been convicted of a crime have to serve entire prison sentences? To an idiot like me, I just assumed that to serve an entire sentence for a drug crime, you had to be convicted of said drug crime. So maybe you can see now why I feel like I'm not fucked, because if you were to sue me for slander or defamation, you'd have to prove that the things that I said were false, and according to you, specifically, they are not false. And there's that other thing. Remember when I said that you thinking that the gotcha you thought you got me on the not true bill thing wasn't the gotcha you thought it was? See, the fact that the not true bill is the thing that comes up in your criminal history and not the actual felony convictions means that you have spent time and money working on covering up your actual criminal convictions. You know, the ones that you already admitted you have. So while you're out here criticizing other people for having kids they can't afford and spending it on things you don't think that they should be spending it on, in addition to the tattoos and lip fillers and literally all of the drugs, you've spent time and money covering up your criminal past about all the shit you did, you demonize and criticize other people for supposedly doing. And you can see how that looks a little worse than you getting on the internet with your whole chest and trying to convince everybody you're not a convict when you very clearly are. according to you. So now you can go back to crashing out like a post-McDonnell Douglas merger Boeing, but when you keep saying that I'm fucked when I know I'm not fucked and you know I'm not fucked and literally everybody on the internet knows I'm not fucked because you are exactly what I said you were, it looks a little pathetic, although not any more pathetic than literally everything else about you. Although I am honestly surprised you're this upset by all of this because clearly you're desperate for attention, and since nobody has to pay for your butthole pictures anymore because they're just for free all over the internet, this has got to be the most attention you've gotten in a while. And this is almost as demeaning to you as the positions you put yourself in to get those meat flap pictures, so I figured you'd love it, but, you know, what do I know? But before I go move on with my life, I'm gonna leave you with one last little piece of wisdom. Remember how you kept reminding people that freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom of consequences when you went on our We Are Charlie Kirk doxing rant against anybody who hurt your fragile little feelings about a dead racist podcaster? Yeah, that applies to you too. And when you've got so many skeletons in your closet that you can't get that door closed no matter how hard you shove it, and your butthole all over the internet for the God you probably pretend to believe in, your kids and the PTA, you may just want to consider the consequences of the dumb shit you are considering using your free speech to say next time. Okay? Kisses.